Yeah, I mean, we got so many languages and like, but traveling around the world over this amount of time, like there's one thing to go on tour for 6 months or 2 months or even a year, but to know that you're gonna go out for 3 years, you gotta pack for 4 different seasons. You know what I mean? You gotta have everything in your, you gotta have all your business stuff. I got like half my suitcase got like a little slot with business papers and my receipts, because you know at the end of the, like everything's got to be with you in that 1 or 2 bags. You know?
Right.
And you're dealing with different foods and languages, and you know, trying to find food in the middle of Stockholm, Sweden. You know, like where do you go? Like,
right.
And what do you order? And what how much are taxes? Like, do you tip? Do you don't tip? What kind of, you know?
Right.
You know what I mean? There's so many different.
That's what we're grateful that Tammy put up another like Facebook page for us.
Yeah.
That was less passionate than the first one that we had. Only so that we as a group, if anyone got like tips or information on, hey, so in this city, but I just found out that we can all do this or something, like it was just something to always keep us prepared. Because for me, like I've never toured to this, first of all, I've never toured this long, and I've never toured to the extent of, you know, like going to 40 plus countries. So I'm like, oh my gosh, so this is a lot of countries, so it's my first time, so just being able to be around a lot of us, we can all like help each other out was a good.
And that's the thing, it makes us, that family is so much tighter, the bond between us, you know, you have to, you know, oh man, it's just great. And the friends that we made is lifelong. I know this is gonna go beyond this year and next year or whatever.
I mean, we can plan. I mean, well, we had to adjust a lot to the differences between. Right, yeah, to the personalities.
Learning curves.
Learning curves. We had to go through a lot of us come from like the Hollywood perspective of performance, and then some people come from the amateur perspective of performance, and then some people come from the Cirque perspective. And so with all of these different like avenues of everyone coming together, all these personalities, there were a lot of clashes and a lot of times we were just, I don't know, I'm so lost for words right now.
Well, because this tour, I mean, it's not about just doing the show.
Right.
Like, you do the show, and then you get on a bus or a plane, you travel with each other for I don't even know how many hours, and then the next day, you're in the hotel lobby and you see everybody. And then on your next day off, you still see everybody.
Yeah.
And then the next day you got rehearsal.
Yeah.
So.
And then those rehearsals are jam-packed from 10 a.m. or however long, especially when you're in training. Back in creation, because we were there from day one. So I even recall some of the early mornings, because then you want to rehearse what you didn't get the day before. Like, man, if Tammy see me mess up on this part right here, oh shit, I can't let her see I'm messing up. I gotta get up early and do it. You know what I mean? So there's so many rehearsals throughout the day that you're just full of like information, especially in the beginning. But then there's a lot of role switching, a lot of different learning different parts, so where you always constantly learning, which is actually
It's interesting.
there's so much to see. You go into a new city either once a week or twice a week, and you're going to different countries that you've either been before, and that alone gives you so much to work with, you know what I mean? Right. And then you bring that energy to the stage. So you got 22 hours a day where you're trying to, deal with life, to deal with like everything outside. But the 2 hours of the day when you're on stage, you're doing the show, nothing can touch me for me. Like that's the part. That's the easy part.
Yeah.
And it's the other part that you gotta kind of, adjust to.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I ain't slept good in about 4 days. It's like, how am I gonna get, or now I'm jet lagged, or there's so much that you gotta, and people don't see that. People don't. They see, oh, you're out there on tour, you doing the Michael thing, you that. I'm like, oh, do you see how long I've been on this plane? Did you see that bus ride last night when the guy was swerving and the thing? Like, it's like y'all don't see
y'all
that.
That's when Dramamine is your best friend.
Yeah, y'all can speak on. Yeah, I'm
Got
sure.
some motion sickness pills, you're good to
Thank you
go.
very much. And meeting and actually the Michael Jackson experience. We're not with Michael Jackson, obviously, unfortunately, but kind of getting a taste of a small taste of what it would have been like to be on tour with him, or to meet his lifelong fans. Like, the fans come to see the show.
Yeah.
They come out and that you can tell the real ones from the, and like I said, when I'm on stage, I'm teaching, I even said on the microphone, I said, if y'all a real Michael Jackson fan, you know what dance this is. If you know what it is, say it out loud. There you go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because people, they either want to show you that they know something, they wear their jackets to the show, they sing along, or they come after the backstage, or they send you emails and write you letters. And
the best is when you see them like travel from country to country.
Yeah.
To get to see, like for me, that has touched me. I probably would say like the most is for somebody to be here and they love the show. They're that much of a fan for Michael, and for the Cirque artists now that they're like, you know what, we'll come and see you, and we'll be in Japan, but we'll fly to Dubai to come and see you. We'll fly here to come and see you. It's just one of the best moments for me. Oh gosh. And then when they come and they give you gifts, and I'm like, oh, I wasn't expecting this, but they just want to let you know how much you going up there doing what you love to do has affected and have helped them. And I'm just like, it's such a, like I'm a well, I still talk to a lot of them, but I always like see how they're doing and send them messages, and so yeah, it's always nice.
I mean, I think for me too, it's like, I didn't have the audition experience in Paris or LA. But for me, I mean, I went to the This Is It audition in LA.
Whoa.
So, and you know, it's funny, I went to that audition and I was like, I'm 5'2". This is not what MJ is looking for. And, but I went, and so for me, I had no expectations. I knew I wasn't gonna get the job, but all I wanted to do as a dancer was to learn MJ's choreo and hopefully have the opportunity to do it in front of him. That was all I wanted. That was my goal. I was like, I know I'm not gonna get this gig, but that's what I want to do. So I showed up at Nokia Theater. There was hundreds of girls waiting in line, and you know, we learned bits of Smooth Criminal and bits of Dangerous, and it was Travis Payne and Stacey Walker and Kenny Ortega was directing, and so I remember going up there, and you know, you walked out on that stage and you're like, gosh, like even just to audition on a stage. Because you know, we come from a time and age where everything's, you're packed like sardines, and you're like in a tiny little LA, you know, dance studio, and you don't get to like own it and live it. And it was amazing. You were on that stage and you got to learn this choreo, and it was epic. Just being there, it was epic. And then I remember getting kept and back the next day for callbacks. And MJ was there, like Michael was there, but he was in the audience, you know, it was dark, you couldn't really see him, but you saw his shadow, you know, so you saw him up there with Kenny and Travis, and so even that alone, just the energy in the building, and just, you know, being like, I know I'm too short for this, and I'm never gonna book this job, but I'm dancing his choreo in front of him. So for me, that was a dream come true, you know, and so, and you know, I didn't get This Is It, and that wasn't the job for me, and like I said, I didn't, you know, I wasn't able to audition for this show, but for sure, as soon as I heard that this show was happening, and Jamie was involved, and Travis and everyone, I emailed everyone I knew, got my agent on it, like everyone, I was like, I want to be a part of this project, and I can't be there in person to audition, but if you need a short little 5'1" Asian girl, I'm your girl. Like, you know, I call Stacy and she goes, okay. She's like, I'm in a room. I've got Jamie King, Carla Kama, Travis Payne, and me. We're all in this room. Like, are you still interested in this job? And I'm like, yes, of course I'm interested in this job. Okay. She like opens up the call. She's like, hey, I've got Tammy on the phone. Do you guys, you know, anyone have any questions or, you know, need anything from her? And, and they're all like, no, just tell her we love her and we want her on the show.
It bothers my mind, like the politics that go into it, because like obviously you're trying to get in through like in Paris, and you have to go to LA like for the audition, and like some people are also there like in Paris, and people are meeting up in New York, and then like I'm already working with the company and as a trampoline job in New York, and so I can't go to any auditions, because I mean, me trying to go to an audition, like, hey, I know we have 3 shows today, but I need to pull out so I can go audition.
To get another job.
Right, to get another job. Right, they're like, no, you have to stay here. You know, so I'm like, oh gosh. So I wanted to audition so badly, but I couldn't. But you know, like once, but I remember one thing that I did. Like I did every single day that I was in that office in headquarters. I was like, I'm a professional dancer. I'm a professional acrobat. Why am I not being spoken to about this job, or who's not speaking to me about? Like I need to know about this. And obviously, I kept like raising enough storm. So even when I left, like my name was already like in like the brewing of what was to be this job. But it's kind of amazing how when you have like people calling in from here and all the other thousands of people that has auditioned for this job, how you have to sit down and be like, okay, we'll keep this one. I got the phone call from Tammy's in, so we'll put her in here in this stack and see if that'll work. And then we get this guy Khalid and we mesh in here, and then we give it to Circuit and they decide who they want, but they, you know, who they have. And it's a huge political game that it's intense.
And that's why it's kind of like perfect. You got to be in the right place at the right time. You can't say,